the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello and welcome back once again to Turn 3 Racing Network. Sunday night K&N action on tap for you. The RFC NextGen K&N series. We're at Chicagoland Motor Speedway for the Multiple Sclerosis 150. This race being sponsored by one of the drivers out there. Gonna grab Thomas for just a quick few words, see if he's got time for us. Thomas, you got us?
Yeah, I got you, Dave.
Well, my man, how are you doing? How's it going?
Doing well. Glad to be back. I've missed the last 2 weeks due to prior commitments, but I'm back and ready to get after it.
All right, my man. Well, you chose to sponsor tonight's race at Chicagoland Speedway, so you chose the Multiple Sclerosis 150 for the name of the race. What is the story or background behind that, if you will?
My oldest daughter was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when she was 16 years old, and so been involved in that community for a long time and have seen the devastation that it can bring. Fortunately, my daughter is on medication that's really helped prolong her life and keep the adverse effects to multiple sclerosis at bay, and she's pretty much led a normal life. But it's due to those that come before and give and help support research and things like that that people like my daughter are able to do what she's doing today.
Man, I know you're out there still turning laps, so we won't keep you very much longer, but a cause close to the heart, would it mean anything more to go out and win tonight's race, being the sponsor, and how close it is to your personal life? Didn't hear you if you answered there, Thomas, but we'll try to catch up with you here in qualifying or during the race if you're available. Is that okay?
10-4, I got you.
All right, real quick then, I was going to say, does being the sponsor of the race and this being so close to your heart, does it make winning the race any more special?
Well, a win is a win, and that's good anytime, but when you've got a sponsor that's near and dear to your heart like this one, it would add something to it, make it real special.
All right, we'll let you go as you finish your final shakedowns of the car, getting ready to head off into qualifying. So good luck and elbows up, my friend.
All right, thank you, Dave.
All right, there you have it. That was Thomas Light, driver of that Mountain Dew 98 machine. And as you heard Thomas, this one's a little close to his heart with family involved, and not that they're sad stories, but they're tough stories. They're stories that you hear week in and week out. You hear it time and time again, multiple families and being affected from many different things. In week in and week out, all these drivers here at the RFC NextGen K&N Series try to bring and shed a little bit of light on the different causes and charities, but we have got cause to throw something up right here, and that's your point standings coming into tonight's race. Dale Osmond, KD, right there on top of the leaderboard. Chris Berg sitting just 40 points behind him. Gordon Larson Jr. third in the points, sitting 41 back, 43 back as Cole Day and Troy Radford's going to round out that top 5 in your point standings. So close field, close about halfway through the season here. No chase involved, so the multiple race wins do not matter. There are no stages, so points only matter at the end of the day. There are a few drop races involved in being utilized by some of the drivers. However, some of these drivers have been here week in and week out. Count down to green a little bit under the 2-minute mark. So I tell you what, we're going to break away for just a real quick commercial. We will be right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network at Chicagoland Speedway. You won't miss any of the action here tonight for the Multiple Scoliosis 150.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
And just as promised, back here at the track, Chicagoland Speedway, nobody has started their qualifying times just yet. Looks like Cole Day in the 37 is pretty eager to get out there. Brandon Hartwell in the 5 machine, he's going to be the first one out on track today, so we'll jump on board with Brandon as he gets his up-to-speed laps. Also, the 9 of Travis Smith out on track. Chris Berg also on track, Cole Day, Bobby Summers. KD, your points leader in that 88 machine, out on track as well. Cody Terry, Eric Blount, all those drivers currently on their up-to-speed laps, their first time laps. I'll tell you what, let's go back. Let's head on back here to that 5 machine one more time as he makes his way around this very, very large track. Just an absolutely huge track, Chicagoland Speedway, 1.53 miles, but I mean, when you're out there in the car, this thing feels just like an 8-lane highway. It is, it is an amazing feel to be out there and in the car on this track. Huge, huge racing surface there. You've seen Brandon utilizing all of that apron. Our on-board cameras here from Turn 3 Racing Network. Let's see what other angles we can work out here for you tonight. And it looks like I may have to do a little bit of volume adjustments and sound adjustments. We'll try to take care of all that as we work through tonight's race. Brandon Hartwell coming down across the line, crossing the line that time. Does he go back to the top of the board? No, he doesn't. He's going to stay in the second position. KD, your points leader, sitting on top of the board right now as the provisional pole sitter. Now riding on board. Well, we were with the 6 of Eric Blunt as he's going to bring it to a stop. We'll jump back now with the 16 of Damon the Unicorn Cox as he begins his first timed lap here tonight at Chicagoland Speedway. And, I mean, let's get a little perspective here on just how wide this track really is. Here we go. We're going to go on board with Damon as he sets his qualifying lap. Keep an eye on that timing and scoring. Looks like KD still sitting on top of the board. Chris Medford now up to third as Troy Radford in the 49 has dethroned your points leader. KD forced back to second. Can Damon Cox pick up enough here on his second time lap? We'll have to wait and find out. Wait and see. Crossing the line now. Not making any gains. Here was Damon Cox. He's going to bring it to a crawl, bring it back down pit road. We'll look around the track, see if we see anybody else out there just yet. Looks like Cole Day has finished his laps. Brian Mescal Jr. just kind of hanging out there at the end of pit road. Everybody else already laying down their timed laps here in qualifying 10 minutes. We are down to just about the 6-minute mark here in qualifying. Not looking like anybody else is going to head out there just yet. So we'll take a minute to reload, refresh, redo, renew. Because tonight is going to be a very long race. 100 laps here in the K&N Series. And that is an awful long distance to be running on this new tire model. These drivers going to put that right front to the test and hopefully not leaning on that right rear too much coming out of 4. Not let's see how I'm trying to word this. Not letting the rear end of the car try to meet the nose as you come up out of turn 4 just a little. It's almost like a uphill, but yeah. As long as you can keep the rear end underneath you, you should be safe on not burning off that right rear tire. But then you're going to put a lot of focus on that right front, ask it to do a lot. You're going to have to manage a lot, especially on entry as well. It's a high-paced, high-bank track for these cars. And, wind shouldn't be too much of a factor. Track temp sitting right around the 60-degree mark, 66 degrees actually when we look down now. Still keeping our eye out on the track, and nobody's out there but Brian Mescal Jr. He's just kind of hanging out. I don't really know what he's doing. Maybe he's just letting the fans get some pictures of that awesome Superman AC Delco Chevy Impala. Can he keep it that clean for the rest of the race? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. And see how the race unfolds. 4 minutes left to go. Nobody leaving pit road. Craig Lerman also beginning to sit at the end of pit road. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. That's kind of interesting. Very, very interesting. Dead time, dead space. That's always great, isn't it? It's just absolutely lovely. Tell you what, we'll switch off the cameras here. Go ahead, give you a little bit of aerial coverage and views of the track and the scenery around the way here at Chicagoland Speedway. 3.2 minutes left here in the 10-minute qualifying session for the RFC NextGen K&N Series Multiple Sclerosis 150 at Chicagoland Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And man, I tell you what, we've got about 26 or so drivers slated to start tonight's race. We'll have to see how many actually take to the grid, how many decide to lay it all on the line and try to chase after the championship for season number 1 here for the RFC NextGen K&N Series. And I'm starting to hear some cars starting up down there, but that just looks like it's Craig Learman and his 43 machines sitting at the end of pit road, just as Brian Mescal Jr. was moments ago. So these drivers just kind of hanging out, chilling, not really doing very much. 2 minutes left to go here in qualifying. So I tell you what, we're gonna start to get things going, start to get things underway, start moving out of the way, getting things set to go down track side for the playing and singing of our national anthem. Join me in saluting all of our troops home and abroad and everything they do. And yeah, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And thanks for joining us for the start of tonight's race. 100 laps here at Chicagoland Speedway. The RFC NextGen K&N Series Multiple Scoliosis 150 drivers are beginning to grid up as we speak. So we will head on down trackside and run through your starting order for tonight's race. Let's see if we can't get a little better. There we go. Kind of like that one a little bit more. What do you say? So let's run through tonight's starting order. Row number 1, pole position driver of the 49, Troy Rafford, followed closely by the 88 of Katie Osmond. Row number 2, the 84 of Chris Medford, followed by the 22 of Cody Terry. Row number 3, the 5 of Brandon Hartwell, and the 67 of Chris Berg. Row number 4, the 6 of Eric Blount, and the 37 of Cole Day. Row number 5, the 23 of Bobby Summers, and rounding out the top 10, the 16 of Damon Cox. Row number 6, the 98, and tonight's sponsor of the race, Thomas Light, followed by the 9 of Travis Smith. Row number 7, the 27 of Brandon Medford, and the 76 of Chuck Mobley. Row number 8, the 42 of Jeff Hollingsworth, and the 33 of Brian Muskell Jr. Row number 9, the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort, and the 17 of Alan Westman. Row number 10 for tonight's race, the 08 of David Smith Jr. and the 14 of Corey Walters. Starting in row number 11, the 4 of Matthew McMeekin and the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. Row number 12, the 43 of Craig Lehrman and the 71 of Jason Edmonston. Row 13 here tonight, the 44 of Adam Novak and the 47 of Ray Radford. Rounding out the field for tonight's race, the 3 of Michael Massengill, and that is the field for tonight's race. We will jump on board with your pole sitter now as we get set to kick things off here on turn 3. Racing Network pace car gonna make that left-hand turn. There it goes. Field is in the hands of your race leader, Troy Radford. Off and on the gas he goes. Katie looking outside now, trying to make the outside lane work. They're still side by side going into turn 1. Third and fourth still side by side. We got side by side all the way back to the 8th position. These drivers not giving way just yet. Everybody clean and smooth so far, but just look at that pack of cars off in the distance. Nobody giving up, nobody giving way. Your top 3 starting to move slightly ahead of the rest of the field, beginning to get single file, and it looks like the 4 of Chris Medford gonna slot in to the 4th position. Troy Radford, your pole sitter, setting sail on the field as the 22 of Cody Terry has a little bit of blinky blink action going on right there. He finds himself in 3rd. Can he make his way up to the back of the 88? We're going to have to wait to find out, as Troy Radford is beginning to, I don't want to say set sail, but he is setting the pace of the race right now. Back through the field we go. This is for the 16th position, and this is Jeffrey Vandervoort. There you see him just in front of him. A train of cars everywhere out in front, so going to be a hard, tough task to make his way up through the field. Battling now with the 14 of Corey Walters down there on the inside. I believe that is Corey Walters. Yes, it is. There you see him down on the bottom, back up inside the top 10. Brian Muskell Jr. in his 33. DC Delco Machine trying to walk down the 98 of Thomas Light and Bobby Summers sitting in the 8th position. Oh, no. Thank you, Jags. Yeah, we adjusted something today, and I don't think it is liking it. So I'll keep an eye and try to deal. Other than that, let's just let's focus on the task at hand, as we've got a lead change up at the front. KD taking the point away from the 49 of Troy Radford, as Chris Berg, where did he come from? Where did Cody Terry go? Back to 5th goes the 22, as Chris Meffert was able to make his way by him. Now these fast 4 drivers beginning to set sail on the rest of the field. Already a 1.2 second gap back to the 7th place runner, the 23 of Bobby Summers. And if you got me, Roger, keep an eye, if you will, for the, thank you, sir. So let's go back to what it was, you think? Let's just, tell you what, it's going to pop up on the main screen for a second. So we'll deal with it when we deal with it. Other than that, I was sorry, do apologize. Graphics and settings and computers aren't always my friend, but Troy Radford, he doesn't have any friends right now either. Chris Berg in the 67 trying to come up and take the lead away. He's got KD Osmond right there nipping at his heels as well. Chris Medford in the 84. Cody Terry beginning to slide back into the clutches of the 5 of Brandon Hartwell, who is sitting in the 6th spot. Most of the field is now single file. We'll head back a little further in the field. Take a look from around the 9th to 15th or so position. Cole Day trying to make his way up through the field. Has fell a little bit in the point standings, maybe a spot or two. So Cole trying to get back up there where he's a little bit more comfortable going after the season championship here for the RFC Next Gen K&N Series. And we are still green flag racing, 9 laps out of 100 in the book, 92 still to go. And I am not seeing. Okay, I'm not seeing correctly. And no, Miss Amy, no Miss Linda, I didn't take a hammer to it. Not yet, at least. So, yeah, it was tuned in at one point, and then some updates. Yeah, so, yeah, we'll get it worked out. We'll get it worked out. No worries. Still the action on the track, though, right now is the 37 of Cole Day. He's trying to get up there and make a pass on the 23 of Bobby Summers for the 7th position. Nothing really happening going on up at the front. Yeah, well, Chris Berg in the 67 was able to get by that Sundrop 88 machine. And Chris Medford still maintaining that 4th position, but right there on in the wakes, just waiting in the wings, if you will, for something to happen with these 2 or 3 drivers in front of him. And that is a sharp looking car from Chris Berg. Man, I tell you what, that's nice. But we're going to go now on board with your points leader. Let's jump down there for our turn 3 onboard cam. We're going to be riding around for a lap here with your points leader, Kenneth Osmond. If you're listening, you can hear those tires just screaming at him as he's making his way on the corner exit. Let's take a listen here out of going into 1. Not so much. Let's listen to that. See, not so much squealing of the tires there on corner exit out of 2 as we heard last time by coming out of 4. Let's see if it happens again. There you heard it, just the scrubbing of those tires as he's trying to walk it up towards the wall without walking it right into the wall, which is not an easy task, that's for sure. Nonetheless, we'll keep everything going. We'll try to keep walking around through the field as it looks like the 9 of Travis Smith starting to walk in. The 37 of Cole Day. Cole still hasn't been able to reel in the 23 of Bobby Summers just yet. Like most of these drivers are kind of just settled in, making laps, making things happen right now. Not really anywhere they can go, anything they can do just yet. So we'll just continue to try to look for other battles, bring you a little bit of action from everywhere on the track. Speaking of everywhere on the track, here we are back in the 14th, 15th, 16th position. These drivers still racing hard. Damon Cox, Corey Walters, Gordon Larson Jr. in the 01 right there behind David Smith Jr. I tell you what, while we've got a good string of cars, we're going to run back up here to the front of the field. And I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and give you something that I love to do week in and week out. We're going to give you a little bit of turn 3's Shut Up and Race. Whew, man, oh man, I absolutely love being able to do that. Love being able to bring that to you. What up, KR? What's up, Roger? And if y'all have a hammer, go ahead and send it my way just in case I need it. So just keep that in mind as well. Troy Radford still maintaining the race lead. No issues up front. Has a 3/10 second lead over Chris Berg. Chris maintaining about a 3/10 second gap over the 88 of KD Osmond. Chris Medford in fourth still. Brandon Hartwell rounding out your top five. This is the 23 of Bobby Summers running in the sixth position. Let's take a look back now through I don't know. Let's see what's going back here around 17th and 18th. We do have some drivers running side by side. That is Damon Cox and Corey Walters. Also Jeffrey Vandervoort and Gordon Larson Jr. just up in front of them, mixing things up as well. Damon Cox now making the pass on the 14. He's going to try to set sail and make his way up to the rear of the 76 of Chuck Mobley, trying to keep an eye on everything. Looks like a battle now between these three cars, the 22, the 6, the 9, Cody Terry, Eric Blount, Travis Smith. That is all drivers running inside of your top 10 as we are working lap 21 out of 180 laps to go here from Chicagoland Speedway. They're digging on that bottom, trying to take the spot away. He's going to make the pass on the tri-oval down to the apron right near the grass. The short way around, that's going to put him up into the 8th spot. Drop Terry to 9th. Travis Smith now looking to make the same kind of pass. Can Cody Terry get underneath of Blount? Looks like he's going to try it down into 3. We're going to have a little switcheroo crossover. A little late crossover, delayed if you will, but Cody Terry digging on the bottom now with help from that 9 of Travis Smith as Travis looking to the inside off of 4 down near the grass, side by side to the line, give the spot to Terry, but Smith is right there on his heels. Gaps pretty much being maintained up at the front. The 49 of Troy Radford still leading tonight's race, has led 19 out of the 23 laps in the books so far here tonight for the RFC NextGen K&N Series on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. Keeping our eye up with that front pack. They have about a second or so gap between the 4th and 5th position. Chris Medford is within about 1.5 seconds of your race leader, but Chris Berg has slowly but surely closed in the distance, closed that gap up for the race lead. We should see battle for who's going to lead the rest of this green flag stint, at least, and that's something we got to start thinking about as well. We're 25 laps into this thing, all green flag racing. When will we see those green flag pit cycles start to come through, start to happen? Who's going to decide to keep it out there on track, extending the stint? Or will we see drivers start to try the undercut here at Chicagoland? I mean, the lap time is going to be a significant difference. We can look through timing and scoring, see fastest lap so far out here tonight is a 31.123. And that is put down by your pole sitter and your race leader, the 49 of Troy Radford, having no trouble right now. We'll go ahead and focus some of our great cameras here at Turn 3 Racing Network up here on your leader. Give him a little bit of limelight. But his lap time is almost a second off from his fast time. So time is going to be given up to fresh tires. It's How long do you want to stay out? How many stops do you want to make? Do you want to make it a one-stopper? Do you want to try to be fast enough and good enough to that's Roger, you can't be doing stuff like that, man, because when I read it I'm gonna laugh, and that's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Anyways, the 49 of Troy Radford still leading this thing. There's only been 2 leaders here tonight, the 88 of Katie Osmond and the 49 of your current race leader. That was all jacked up, wasn't it? Radford, 25 laps in the book. Jesus, I can't talk. Such a shame. Such a shame. Jason Edmondson and his 71 machine being put down 1 lap here early in tonight's race. 1 lap's not so bad. You start getting to the 2 or more, and that's going to spell trouble. Here you see, I do believe that is the 27 just off in front of Troy Radford. Brandon Mefford trying not to be the second car put 1 lap down. We still have 26 out of the 27 cars that took to the grid out on the racing surface. 24 cars now left on the lead lap as your race leader, Troy Radford, puts the 27 of Medford down 1 lap, crossing the line. Begin lap 31 out of 170 laps left to go here tonight for the Multiple Sclerosis 150 at Chicagoland Speedway. And nobody surprisingly hitting pit road just yet. We're starting to see Radford skirt away from the field. He's beginning to open that gap up now to a little over a second. Same distance back from Berg to Osmond. Osmond back to Medford is less than a half a second, so we'll go back, join this battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th position as Medford has got Cole Day, Bobby Summers, Brandon Hartwell, and Brian Mescal Jr. all right there waiting in the wings. And I tell you what, man, Chris Medford, he is under some big-time fire right now by the 37 of Cole Day. Hats off to Cole. Great start of the race, moving right up through the field just like you would want. So Cole having a great race. I tell you what, let's go ahead and see where it all came from, how it happened. Started in 8th, has driven up to the 5th position. Looked like he had passed a lot more cars than what he has. But Cole putting on a show out there, trying to get the job done. Now just inside of your top 5, trying to make the pass on the 84 of Chris Medford. We begin to look through the field for any other close action on track. Looks like Travis Smith, and caution is out. And it looks like Jason Edmonston may have been involved. We'll take one look back here with our turn 3 replay. So give us just 1 second. Here you go. Looks like Edmonston's fine right now. Everything going okay. Crossing the line. Oh, and just ran out of room, it looked like, there with the 08 of David Smith Jr. Oh, and Thomas Light. Oh, nowhere to go, and Thomas Light right into the rear end. Oh my goodness, let's go back one more time and look at this. Hard impact from Thomas Light. One more time from the rear of the field. From the rear of this 71. There you see the contact. 71 goes around, and Thomas Light just nowhere to go. There you seen it. Hard impact. And that's going to put us under caution for the first time here tonight as we hit pit road. Your race leader, the 49 of Troy Radford, going to bring everybody down with them. long, long train of cars. Looking through, and it does look like almost everybody came down pit road, not looking like we've got anybody staying out there. So the race off of pit road may be pretty important here. It looks like Radford is down and away first. So we will give these drivers just a moment to come around, get everything sorted out. We're going to step away for a real quick moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with all your racing action here on Turn 3 Racing Network. I can't. Lord. Alright, we're going to go back to commercial. We're going to try that one more time. Good Lord. That was an absolute disaster to rejoin the race too, wasn't it? It's great. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Thanks for sticking with us, staying with myself up here in the booth, David World, bringing you all the great racing calls from high above here at Chicagoland Speedway. Troy Radford on the point. Pace car lights are off. We will go back green flag racing when we take lap 39 out of 100. That's going to leave us with only 62 laps left to go. Will we see another long green flag run, or will these cautions breed those dreaded cautions? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to stick it out just like everybody else. Will your points leader, will KD, get the job done on the outside? Pace car ducks off field in the hands of your leader. He hits the gas, and we are back green flag racing at Chicagoland Speedway for the multiple scoliosis 150. Troy Radford getting away from the field pretty easily and clean. Battle now for third position between Chris Berg and Chris Medford. Cole Day in the 37 looking down on the inside in fifth, trying to take that fourth spot away as he's got the 23 of Bobby Summers just behind him, lurking in the background. And I hope I have fixed the levels of that camera, because before I couldn't hear it. So, yeah, trying to trying to widen the shot, get you a little bit more of the side-by-side battles going on, like the 84 and the 23. Those two battling for that final top 5 spot. And man, I tell you what, a lot of drivers back here still battling. Brian Mescal Jr. right there battling with the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. Hartwell now takes the spot away. Put Mescal Jr. back to the 8th spot. Now the field looks like they are beginning to get back to that single file style of running. Trying to make your passes very methodical, as Brian Mescal Jr. trying to get the job done right here off of turn number 2 down the back stretch. Does he have enough to make the pass when they get through 3 and 4? Still at the quarter panel. Now side by side in the center. Almost touching. Brandon Hartwell slides up the track. Mescal Jr. down by the grass. The 9 of Travis Smith out of the 946 Design Stable. He's right there behind that 33 of Mescal Jr. And Cody Terry is right there as well. The harmed, damaged, hurt machine of the 71 of Jason Edmonston still out there running laps, trying to get up to speed and back onto the racing surface safely. Very interesting. I'm confused right now. Caution is out. Sorry, I do apologize. Something caught my attention. Gonna look back, see if we can see who it was. Looks like Brandon Medford was involved. We'll take a look back, see what happened here. Ooh, as Medford's already getting loose. We'll wrap it up a little bit further back now as Medford goes to the bottom. Looks like everything's okay. Damon Cox getting a good run on the outside. Oh, and a little wiggle by the 27, and around he goes. No other cars involved, but that is a tough lick for that 27 machine. Whew. Tough hit. We'll rejoin your race leader, the 49 of Troy Radford. Still on point, still getting the job done. 40 laps in the books now for Radford. This is why you shouldn't try to do a bunch of things all at one time, because I get stupid and dumb and stuff like that. Looks like Chris Berg in the 67 and the 88 of KD Osmond. Travis Smith and his 9 machine also staying out on track, so they will assume the race lead. Gordon Larson Jr. in the 01 also staying out on track. Have a few drivers trying to get their laps back, but they're not going to be afforded that option unless your top 4 decide to bring it down pit road, which I do not believe they're gonna. It looks like they may have made a strategy call prior to tonight's race and are sticking to it tooth and nail, but I just don't know about a 9-lap difference on tires if I'd risk it. If I was going to risk anything here tonight, it may be a 2-tire call, but looking through the field, looks like everybody that came to pit road took 4 tires. So yeah. Let's see if we can't we are probably getting ready, and we do see Travis Smith hitting pit road this time by, so I believe we'll get the 1 to go. If not, we'll throw it down and try to get a quick word in with your race leader, Chris Berg, and the decision to stay out on these tires, and it looks like we're going to have 1 more lap to go. So we'll see if we can't squeeze in a word and dial up that 67 of Chris Berg. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you. Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear, bud. Hey, pit strategy, call there, getting you up into the lead. What do you think that call is going to shake out to be? Do you think it's the right one, or are you just searching for a little bit of clean air?
I think honestly we're kind of a sitting duck here after about 5 or 6 laps. I think we only had 3 or 4 under green right there, so I'm hoping we're able to fire off me, Dale, and Gordon, and it holds up Troy and them a little bit. But definitely on the long run, they're going to get us unless we have a spree of cautions here. It was more just a strategy play because all of us have to pit one more time no matter what. So it just trying to get the lead and see what happens.
All right, I hear you. Well, the pace car lights should be going off this time by, so we'll let you go get back to the task at hand. But before we do, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, I do's to anybody out there watching?
Yeah, I appreciate my team. Blackhawk Motorsports got me and Dale right now running 1-2, and Mike's having a pretty solid run back there as well, and hopefully we're able to bring it home.
All right, bud. Well, good luck. Elbows up.
Thank you.
There you have it, hearing from your race leader, Chris Berg in the 67 machine. Not so sure about the strategy just yet, but hoping to get a little bit of gap and hold that 49 of Troy Radford up just slightly over the course of maybe 10-15 laps, where the tires can almost equal themselves back out. But that is going to be a tall task to keep the entire field, because from 4th on back, from Radford on back, they're all on 4 fresh tires. So it's not just keeping one driver back there, it's keeping almost 20 drivers back there. It's keeping, as a matter of fact, 23 other drivers behind you. And that is just, that's going to be superhuman if you ask me. But that's why I'm in the booth and not on top of the box. Pace car off, waiting to go green. Berg in the gas. We're back. Green flag racing from Chicagoland Speedway here on the RFC NextGen K&N Series. Berg getting a great start on those older tires, stepping away just a little bit from Osmond, as Osmond's stepping away from Larson Jr. Could this be an intentional stack back, if you will, trying to slow up some of those other drivers? So we'll take a look back here with these guys on these 4 fresh tires. Cole Day coming into the mix. Bobby Summers right there. Brandon Hartwell, Troy Radford, and Larson Jr. with a little bit of a love tap from Radford. Almost goes around, gets a little bit loose, and these drivers are up into the wall as Hartwell down. Oh, that's going to bring out a caution. I'm not sure how that wouldn't. Oh my goodness, Brandon Hartwell. Hard impact. We'll take a look back, see if we can watch this one more time. There you see Hartwell just up into the wall, into the 37, back across the track. And the 3 car absolutely, oh my goodness. I tell you what, we got to do this a little more justice here, so bear with me. Disaster from there, and the 3 just nowhere to go, piles right in, flips over. Oh my goodness, lands on all 4 wheels. Not sure how, but he landed on all 4 wheels, and that's going to put us under caution for the 3rd time tonight. Kenneth Osmond able to take the lead away from Chris Berg, but will these drivers decide to hit pit road this time? Some drivers back near the rear. Looks like the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort opted to come to pit road that time by, but will Osmond or Berg come to pit road? Will any of the drivers behind them from 4th on back, will they hit pit road, as they just pitted about 5 or 6 laps ago? So wonder what the strategy call excuse me, what the strategy call on that one will be. 50 laps left to go, and Jags, if you don't mind, would you could you let me know, did it all sort? Oh no, it did not sort itself out. I see it right there. So let's try to go up one more time. Let's see if that fixes it. Let's see what happens here. We'll go back and do a few things while we are under caution. See if that helps get the job done at all. Hopefully it does. Thank you all for bearing with me with the graphical issues, getting it worked out, sorted out as we go. Some great racing action out there on track tonight by the RFC NextGen K&N Series drivers here for the multiple scoliosis 150 at Chicagoland Speedway. This is race number 8 in the season. As I alluded to earlier, no chase. So the win and you're in is not a thing. It doesn't happen. And you can just kind of ask your only multiple race winner. 2 race wins to his name this year. This man right here, Brian Mescal Jr. We'll take a look at the points here really fast once again for you while we work ourselves around the track under caution. Brian Mescal Jr., there you see him in 10th position in the points, 76 points back. And Brian, he has got 2 wins to his name this season. And I believe I'm right on that. Let's oh well, it's only got him as 1 win. I know he's won. That's because I'll just hide that because I hadn't updated that yet. So I just told on myself. Holy man, oh man, the bosses are gonna fire me. I just want everybody to know that my bosses are gonna fire me. It's gonna happen. Pace car lights on the Ford Buttstain out once again, so you know what that means. It's either broken down or we're ready to go back green flag racing, and I think we're actually lucky we're going to get 2 of them. And see, just yet another reason why Jags is one of the most important people to the league in series. Behind the scenes, in my ear, getting the job done. Thank you, Jags. Actually, KD, your points leader, your race leader, has 2 wins as well. Pace car is off. We're set to go back green flag racing, and Osmond nails the gas. We go back green here at Chicagoland Speedway. Field off to a good start. That 88 has set sail. Radford now looking to the high side to try to get around the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. Looks like he's going to be able to get that done coming off of 2. Cole Day in the 37 trying to follow with him. The 84 of Chris Medford just behind them. Brian Mescal Jr. back in the 10th spot, taking 9th position away, now digging on that bottom, getting underneath Craig Lerman. And Osmond setting sail, and just like these guys were hoping, Radford's kind of held up back there in that 4th position. He can't go anywhere. He can't make the pass. He is on fresher tires. Oh, and around goes Medford. Oh my, Chris Medford going around and other cars involved. We'll take a look back one more time. Oh man, ooh. Tough break for Medford. Looks like he just got loose here. Oh, maybe a little bit of net code. I don't think those cars touched. We'll take another look back here from the aerial cam. Watch this 23 and the 84. I don't see contact. No contact actually made, and around goes that 84. Brian Mescal Jr. just missing. Oh, David Smith Jr., Eric Blount both caught up. Ooh, David Smith Jr. with a tough lick right there. My goodness. Let's take a look back here from Schmitty's point of view. There he is just inside of the 9 of Travis Smith. Gets into him a little bit, and oh, right into that 84. My goodness. Let's take a look now. Ooh, man, there was a lot of cars involved. A lot of people's days are going to come to an end. Let's take a look back from Travis Smith's point of view. See what happened with Travis. And he gets... oh, my goodness. Wow. That deserves one. I'm going to do it one more time. Oh, my. Watch this. The contact between Schmidt and Smith. Oh, my. Drifted. Travis Smith. Oh, Travis Smith. Oh, I can't even speak. That was... wow, that is a wheelman right there. Let's look from the cockpit here of Travis Smith. The contact between him and David Smith Jr. kicks his car sideways. There you see him, and he just drifts it. Oh my God. Right by that 84 of Chris Medford. I tell you what, I'm sorry I rewound that so many times to get all that, but holy wow. Wow. I know I should be up here trying to catch a word with your race leader, and I tell you what, it looks like he's going to be staying out on track. So I'm going to take a look back. Looks like Travis Smith is still on track as well. So let's see if I can't dial up that 9 of Travis Smith really fast before we get to pit stops or anything. See if I can't catch a word in with Travis. We'll keep an eye on your leaders. Make sure whether they come or go onto pit road. We'll find out. Looks like Travis Smith is going to hit pit road. We'll let him make his stop before we throw it down to him. We'll stay up here with your race leader at this point in time. Let's see if we can't dial up your race leader, the 88 of Katie. You got us?
Yep, I got you.
Hey, my man. 2 wins in the pocket this season. Couple laps led in the pocket as well. I mean, you trying to take it all early here?
Oh man, I'm always trying to go for it. You know, we decided to stay out here, me and Chris Berg, my teammate. It's working out so well, or pretty well so far. I think our tires with the people who stayed out have kind of evened out here. So, you know, I think my strategy for the rest of this race is looking pretty good.
All right, man. Well, we have got the 1 to go signal, so I'll let you go. Would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that before we do?
Yeah, as always, everyone watching, thank you for broadcasting this, man.
All right, there you have it. That was your race leader, your point series leader, your point... He's leading in the points. Y'all get it. He's leading the points, man. Katie, that 88, the sun drop, dropping the hammer on these boys. 2 race wins to his name this season. He's trying to get a few more before the end of this thing. A 40-point lead over the next, over the second place runner. Chris Berg, actually, I believe it is. I would have to go back and check just one more time, trying to get people back where they belong for just a moment. So bear with me. There we go. We'll drop that. Drop it like it's hot. Pace car about to duck off once again, and we'll get set to go back. Green flag racing. Kenneth Dale Osmond hits the loud pedal, and we're back under green flag here at Chicagoland Speedway. Osmond with a great start. Troy Radford trying to take some spots away. Look at Brian Mescal Jr. cutting through the field, now up inside of your top 5. Can he be the first one to put a third win to his name? Can Kenneth Osmond maintain that race lead and put his name in the books as the first driver to win 3 races here this season? 3 wide now, looking with the 33 of Mescal Jr., Matthew McMeekin and Corey Walters. My goodness, that 14 mixing it up. 3 wide there for a minute now. Mescal Jr. backing out, falling back to the 8th spot as Osmond keeping Chris Berg at bay. Radford about 0.6 of a second off of your race leader as we begin to work lap 62 when we cross the line, this time by 39 laps left to go here tonight in the multiple scoliosis 150 at Chicagoland Speedway. Going to go through and do a little bit of house cleaning. 27 drivers took to the grid for tonight's race. We still have 23 cars out there on track. Still have 19 on the lead lap. David Smith Jr. in the 08 caught up in that latest race incident. He finds himself being scored 2 laps down. Everybody else on the lead lap, and Kenneth Osmond leading the field, leading the charge. Troy Radford not able to do anything on a little bit fresher tires. These 2 drivers setting sail on the field now as Radford's beginning to fall off. Well, I say fall off, but he could be just saving, just maintaining, just trying to be sure to get to the end to make the fuel run that he wants. I believe these drivers are all going to have to hit pit road at least one more time. Even the drivers that hit pit road the last time by, don't think anybody's going to be able to make it all the way, even if we stay under green flag conditions. Craig Lerman is the first driver out there with well, not the first, with newest tires. Some of the drivers back in 18th, 19th position caught up in that latest race incident. Have a little bit fresher tires, about 3 or 4 laps fresher, but big lap difference back to Craig Lerman and his 43 machine. About 12 to 13 lap difference from the man on screen, your race leader, the driver of the 88, Kenneth Osmond, trying to get the job done. Looking through the field, looks like Cole Day is starting to have his hands full with Lerman. Day trying to get by Gordon Larson Jr. and just not able to get the job done. And Brian Mescal Jr. fell from the 5th position all the way back to the 10th. Alan Westman, where did he come from? We say that about him week in and week out. There he is in his brightly painted orange and yellow Chevy Impala. The 17 of Alan Westman. Let's drop in a little driver info for you. Started back in the 18th, currently running in 11th, so some good gains being made out there tonight by Alan Westman, trying to drive his way up through the field and into the top 10. Back up near the front where Troy Radford is still trying to get up there and get the position away from the 67 of Chris Berg. Eric Blount right there in the 6th damaged hurt machine, just staying out of the way. There you see the driver of the 3, Mark Massengill, also damaged coming. Not Mark. Coming out onto the track, trying to put in a few more laps if he can. But, I mean, would you just look at it? I mean, absolutely amazing what Osmond is able to do on these much, much older tires. But looking at the laps, we are 33 laps into this green flag run for your top 2 position holders, Osmond and Berg, coming to pit road 33 laps ago. We still have 32, make it 31 when we cross the line this time by. So these drivers will definitely be able to make it from here should they choose to stop. But will they try to stretch it out and wait for a caution and battle it out that way? Or will we see green flag pit stops play a factor in determining tonight's race winner as Radford's working over that rear bumper of the 67? Can Berg hold him off? I'm not so sure that he's going to be able to. Radford closed in very fast, and he is right there trying to take the spot away back at the line. Berg scoots away by about a car length and a half now down in turn one. That distance closes through the center and off of two as Radford gets a great launch attitude. And down the backstretch, he's going to be within one car length as they enter turn three. Multiple small battles going on track. Gordon Larson Jr. having to deal with the 43 of Craig Lerman. That is just behind this lead trio of cars, Osmond, Berg, and Radford. Lerman trying to take the spot away from Larson Jr. as Cole Day has fell back to the sixth position and has fallen to the wayside, now being shown 2.5 seconds back behind your race leader. And I tell you what, Kenneth Osmond liking what he's seeing in his rear view mirror, and that is the 49 of Radford fighting it out with Chris Berg. The longer this thing goes like this, the lap after lap that Radford is, well, pretty much stuck behind this 67, the more it is going to help and benefit not only the 67, but also Osmond up there leading this thing. That gives him a little bit of a buffer zone, and he can kind of gauge an eyeball. He can run so hard and keep that gap built, keep himself from burning the tires up too much, because that gap is staying right about the 2 to 3/10 second lap after lap. So not gaining, not losing, just maintaining, and that may be what the strategy is. Just maintain as long as you can. Come down, get them fresh tires while the drivers behind you are a little bit older. They are going to have to pit, and you may be able to perform that undercut, come back and take the race lead. Going to look through the field now. Looks like we've got those small battles brewing all throughout the track. Matthew McMillan on the fuel machine, riding that Navy Chevy Impala, trying to come up and make a pass, make a play on that 37 of Cole Day, who is running in sixth, just 1/10 of a second behind Gordon Larson Jr. and Troy Radford. He's going to hit pit road. Chris Berg hitting pit road as well. That's going to leave your race leader Osmond out there all alone as he's beginning to catch up to the tail end of the field. That is the hurt machine of Thomas Light. Thomas caught up in our very first caution of the night, but soldiering on, staying out there on the track, and it sounded like Michael Massengill's motor may have just let go down there on the apron. Gonna have to keep our eye on the entry of pit road as KD brings his machine down pit road. That's gonna put the lead into the hands of this man, and oh my goodness. Guys, once again, this is why I'm never good on the fuel strategy calls here. If this thing stays green, I think Craig Lerman in this 43 machine, not sure why Craig's not having a solid paint out there. Matt Black just looks good, looks kind of like primered, like they just said, you know, the hell with it, we just going racing, boys, and they found a way to get that thing up to the front. He is now your race leader. Last 2 laps being led by Lerman. He's got 21 laps on this tank of gas and fuel with 23, make it 22 when we cross the line. That's going to be right at the 42, 43 mark on fuel. And that is that is right there on the edge of being able to make it. Cole Day just behind your race leader. He has 34 laps on his tires, so Cole not in as good of a situation as that 43 machine. But hey, I mean, Lehrman getting the job done. Let's throw you a little bit of information about Lehrman up here. Started all the way back in 23rd and has driven his way up to the first position. Your fast mover of the day, or whatever award of the day, biggest mover of the day, however you want to word it, this dude right here started in, 23rd out of 26. So it doesn't get much further back behind him, and he has found a way into the race lead. Hats off, my man, the Lehrman getting the job done, trying to keep Cole Day with 37 behind him. Day with a great run off of 4, side by side, almost touching on the apron. Both of those cars down there underneath that white line. They had the entire racing surface above them, and none of them wanted to use it. That was an amazing job to keep things straight and going forward by Lehrman and Day. Oh, and it looks like we've got pit stop starting. Oh, Cole Day gets hit. He's going to miss pit road. Oh, my goodness. Cole's still spinning, still. Oh, let's take one more look at this. These drivers fighting with each other, trying to get down pit road. Both trying to get it slowed up. Little bit of contact. Cole up on the track, back off. Hard onto the gas. And then comes back around to get around the cone so he doesn't get a black flag. That is a smart move. It's going to cost him some time, but that is a very, very smart move by that 37 of Cole Day not to give himself a black flag. Brian Musco Jr. in the 33 hitting pit road, this time by Bobby Summers in the 23, now assuming the race lead. Chuck Mobley in the 76 just behind him. Adam Novak in the 44 sitting in third position. Travis Smith, who we're going to get a chance to talk to at some point in time of the race about his great drifting save there. And Damon the Unicorn Cox in the 16 machine. And caution is out on track. Oh my, looking for it. And I'm not seeing where it was. Let's take a look back, see if we can see anything. We do have Matthew McMeekin coming around and coming. Oh! And it was Matthew McMeekin bringing out the caution. Looks like he was exiting pit road and it just came around on him. So, that's going to put an interesting twist on the end of tonight's race, the Multiple Scoliosis 150 at Chicagoland Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network. It's race number 8, season number 1 for the RFC NextGen K&N Series, and I made a boo-boo. I betcha. That's what I bet you. We'll just, Bobby Summers coming away with a great strategy there, staying out. Green flag run through pit cycles. Green flag pit cycles underway. Goodness, I can't get my tongue to operate right now. Trying to say 20 things at one time usually doesn't work. Looks like most of the field, or at least the lead lap cars coming on pit road this time by Brian Musco Jr. also staying out on track. A lot of cars were being caught one lap down. They're all going to receive the wave around, but they are going to line up behind these 4 or 5 cars when we get set to go back green flag racing. But looky here. Will he decide to pit this time by? We'll have to wait and see. 15 laps left to go. And for the first time tonight, the 9 of Travis Smith gonna assume the race lead, and he's gonna have Brian Mescal Jr. just behind him in the second position. So Brian Mescal Jr. with a I don't know, maybe a lucky horseshoe or two. Very interesting to see what's going to happen, what's going to go on here. We'll let timing and scoring work itself on through before we go anywhere or do anything here at Turn 3 Racing Network. And Travis Smith indeed is going to hit pit road. Will Brian Mescal Jr.? Yes, he does. Trying to look back through the field, see who's gonna assume the race lead and who isn't here. We've got drivers all over this racetrack, as this man right here is the next man in line to assume the race lead. He's gonna stay out on track, so I believe that's gonna put the lead of tonight's race into the hands of the 16 of Damon the Unicorn Cox. So, wow. A lot of crazy late race stuff going on here. Looks like Troy Radford where will he end up shaking out? Looks like Troy going to end up somewhere around the 8th position when everything is said and done. Drivers are playing musical cars on me with the numbers and where's everybody lining up. Bobby Summers in the 23 machine actually going to be the driver that benefits and assumes the race lead. But we've got a few of these drivers that we haven't seen up here all race long. The 76 of Chuck Mobley, the 99 of Adam Novak, the 16 of Damon Cox, all benefiting greatly from this late race caution. Whew. Man, oh man. I'm gonna tell you what, let's see if well, no, pace car lights are off, so we will not do that. Going green right now, glad I didn't. Bobby Summers leading the field back to the green. Hits the gas, and we're back racing here at Chicagoland Speedway. Summers off to a great start. Adam Novak now digging on the inside line, trying to take that second position away from Chuck Mobley, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Now looking to the inside of Damon Cox. He's going to make the pass, going down the back stretch now, looking for another spot is the fast-charging, fast-moving 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. up to the 3rd spot. Does he have enough in the tank? Can he get up there and take away the race lead? The 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort is being shown. The first car 1 lap down, but he is trying to get his lap back the hard way as we are inching closer and closer to the end of tonight's race. 11 laps left to go as Brian Mescal Jr. has got that 67 of Chris Berg on his heels. Will Vandervoort move out the way? Looks like he does just a little bit right there. Chuck Mobley still sitting in that second spot with Bobby Summers leading the charge. And I think that lap car is causing a little bit of issues here with some of your front runners. Oh! And Chris Berg, I would say kindly or politely just does away with the situation, and we will head off into the sunset. I am going to just keep calling the race. Bobby Summers out to almost a 1 second lead over the 76 of Chuck Mobley. Now Brian Scale Jr. slowly starting to reel him in. Does he have enough time? Does he have what it takes to get there before the end of the race? Make no bones about it, the 67 of Chris Berg, he's not giving up just yet. Troy Radford right there as well, now down next to the grass. They're going to take that spot away from Scale Jr. as well. Put Brian back to 5th, move Troy into 4th. Does Berg or Radford have anything in the tank to get up there and battle Bobby Summers, who has set sail on the field? 1.5 seconds back to Radford, 1.2 back to Berg. Chuck Mobley doing a good job at maintaining that second position as the drivers begin to work their way up onto a wounded car. Or my bad, it looked like there was a lap car off in the distance, but see, can't talk, can't read, can't write. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll just, leave it at that. 6 laps left to go for your race leader. Bobby Summers ahead of the field. Good gap, 5 to 10 car length difference. And Chris Berg has finally been able to make the pass. He's going to get by Chuck Mobley. And Will Radford digging on the bottom, trying to clear, not cleared, now he is. Man, that's kind of a stressful situation right there. You're not sure if you're clear, but you need to be, so you kind of just make yourself be. And now, the task at hand. Can Chris Berg or Troy Radford run down your race leader, Bobby Summers, with 4 laps left to go? The gap is 1.2. Will it close this time by? We'll keep our eye on the stopwatch. Try to see where it all shakes out, where it's at. We'll throw your running order over here. Kind of helps keep up a little bit faster as well when utilizing both of the tickers. 3 laps left to go, and Berg does not close the distance that time by. So, unfortunately, the gap going the opposite direction of what Berg and Radford want. And it looks like Bobby Summers may walk away with this thing as your race winner. Nothing is for sure and nothing is settled until we get that final white flag lap. 2 laps left to go now. Just a little under 3 miles left in tonight's race. 153 total miles scheduled for tonight's race. And this man right here didn't lead them all, didn't lead the most, but he has led the ones that counted the most late here tonight. 1 lap to go. Presented to you by RFC NextGen K&N Series live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Summers off of 2, down the back stretch for the final time. Nobody in sight, nobody near him. Your race winner, heading to victory lane here tonight in Chicagoland Speedway. The 23 of Bobby Summers takes the checkered flag. And as the drivers begin to get their cool down laps and get ready for their post-race celebrations, we're going to get our post-race interview set up and ready to go here on Turn 3 Racing Network. So let's stick with your race winner for just a moment. See if he's going to give us a little bit of a smoke show. Looks like he may indeed do it. So we'll stay here for just a few more seconds before we head off for a quick commercial break. There it is, Summers burning it down. Job well done, my friend. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back for all your post-race interviews here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And thanks for staying with me here on Turn 3 Racing Network. We have been able to catch up with our top 3 finishers for tonight's race. We will bring into the booth now your third place finisher for tonight's race, the driver of the 67, Chris Berg. How you doing, bud?
Doing pretty good. Just a couple positions short, but still can't complain. Ran top 3 whole race.
Well, man, I was gonna say you had kind of a, I wouldn't say an uneventful day. You were pretty much inside the top five the entire race. A little bit of pit cycles and stuff like that got you behind, but you always came back to the front. Did you think you had anything in the tank to try to get any more positions out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I did, especially on that last race. Luckily, I got the lucky dog, and for I don't know how many races in a row, it seems like pit strategy doesn't work out. Always a caution near the end to screw it up because it was gonna come down to me, Troy, and Dale there. But it got the lucky dog worked out, and thought I had the tires. I knew I had the speed, but I just used them up there trying to get through traffic, and I got my right front bent in a little bit when one of the guys came across trying to the block, which is 10 laps to go. It's going to happen. But I mean, to get back up there and was second, and on that final or second to last lap, TeamSpeak jumped up, popped up in my screen, so I couldn't see anything, and I got in the wall off 1 and 2 and was able to save it and salvage a third place finish, which can't complain at all.
Absolutely not. If I had known that, I would have been a little bit more eventful when I introduced you there, but I had no clue you had them troubles there at the end. So, I mean, a great job covering that up. Great job coming away with a third place finish. Let's look a little bit down the road at the championship. Sitting very well in the points right now, walking away with another podium. That's gonna go well, trying to close the gap to KD. Do you think this is going to build you any momentum over the next 2 or 3 weeks?
Oh, definitely. I'm hoping I can make most of the races just with work and everything. It's, kind of hit or miss if I'm going to, but I'm trying, I missed the last 2, so KD got, a little bit further ahead in there, but if I can slowly, knock it down and be there within the last 4 or 5 races, that'd be awesome.
All right, man. Well, once again, congratulations. Great run, finishing third out there tonight. Before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Just to my Blackhawk Motorsports team and teammates, and, what a heck of a job Bobby Summers did right there pulling off that win. And I had nothing for him there. I'd used up all my tires, so heck of a job by him.
All right, there you have it. That was your third place finisher for tonight's race. Moving on down the line, we're going to now get a word in with Troy Radford, second place finisher of the race. And Troy, if I had $1 for every time I did that to you, well, I'd probably still be broadcasting, but I'd have a little bit more money.
That's true, absolutely.
Good race, but didn't finish the way you would like. You did lead the most laps. Believe you had the fastest lap as well, or at least you did at one point in time. Does second place put a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth here tonight?
Anytime Bobby wins, I really can't be too upset about it. Bobby's an awesome guy who's gone through a lot in the last year, so absolutely thrilled to see him get the win. I had a lot of bad luck, man. It was like I was really good on the long run, but every time I would do something strategy-wise, the caution would come out at exactly the wrong time. I think I had it happen 3 times tonight. So, coming home with a second, I really can't feel too bad because it should have been a lot worse than that just because of the way that the race played out. But gained points over Berg. Berg made a little mistake there. I was able to get another spot on him. And then I think I had Dale by 4 or 5 positions. So, not huge, but man, I'm in such a hole trying to catch up to Dale that, a little bit's going to help.
All right, man. Well, I mean, you pretty much covered everything for me, so I'm pretty much out of questions, my man. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that, Troy?
Big one, first of all, of course, to everybody in the league that participated in the charity race last night. Just absolutely awesome what we saw out there. Over $1,000 going to charity. So just, cannot speak enough about that. Lucky Finn Project, of course, on my vehicle, as well as Evidence Based Mommy Turn 3 Racing. And, Dave, thank you for everything you do and all of the admins. We, people don't see it on the outside, but man, we put a lot of work in during the week.
All right, there you have it. driver finishing second in tonight's race, Troy Radford. So you know what that means. We're now going to get a chance to speak to the man on screen, still waiting for us in his car. Driver of the 23 machine, Bobby Summers. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dave, I got you.
All right, man. Well, you wasted no time up here in the booth. Great job out there tonight. Great way to hold on to the lead there at the end of the race. Just tell us a little bit what went through your mind for that final restart.
No cautions. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to see no yellows. I knew I had a few cars between me and Troy there and KDO, so I just didn't want them guys to get behind me because I didn't have nothing for them.
Well, I mean, there towards the end of that little tiny run we had there at the end, it looked like the gap started to increase. So, were you holding back at all, or was it just pedal to the metal?
Nah, I was going, bud. I was going as hard as she could go.
All right, man. Well, a heck of a job holding off some very fast guys sitting very high in the point standings. Race win going to do you a lot of justice towards the championship at the end of the season. But once again, Bobby, great job, great race win. Before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my wife Angela. My family normally watches, so I'll give a shout out to my folks as well. A shout out to the Pancreatitis Foundation and the Diabetes Foundation as well.
All right, well, there you have it. That was your race winner, driver of the 23 machine, the man on screen. We'll leave him right there to celebrate. Great job by him. Your running order for tonight's race, because, well, that's all there's left to do here tonight. Coming home in first, the driver of the 23, Bobby Summers. Second place goes to the 49 of Troy Radford. In third, the 63 of Chris Berg. Fourth position, the 76 of Chuck Mobley. And rounding out your top five, the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. Katie Osmond running in sixth at the end of tonight's race. In seventh, the 37 of Cole Day, the 43 of Craig Lerman. In eighth, ninth spot goes to the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. And the 17 of Alan Westman finishes in 10th. 11th, the 9 of Travis Smith. 12th spot to the 14 of Corey Walters. 13th goes to the Unicorn Damon Cox in his 16 machine. 14th spot goes to the 44 of Adam Novak. And rounding out your top 15 here tonight, the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort being scored the first car one lap down. 16th position goes to the 98 of Thomas Lighton. And 17th, the 47 of Ray Radford. 18th, the 6 of Eric Blunt. And the 71 of Jason Edmonston. And 19th, 20th position goes to the 4 of Matthew McMeekin. 21st, the 08 of David Smith Jr. Cody Terry in his 22 machine finishing in 22nd spot. The 23rd position goes to the 84 of Chris Mefford. And in 24th, the 3 of Michael Massengill. 25th position, the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. Night ended very early for him. The 27 of Brandon Mefford also finding himself in trouble early in the race, finishing in the 26th position. And unfortunately, the 42 of Jeff Hollingsworth was not able to make it to the grid. He will be shown the last car in line for tonight's race in 27th position. And, well, folks, that does it. There you have it. That's the end of this thing, and we are all done. There is nothing left to do except pack it up, get ready for for tomorrow night, Tuesday night, as well as the weekend. Got some great racing action coming your way here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And as always, gonna step away with well, if y'all don't know about Young Money, it's, this is his place now, his town now. He owns it. He lifted the Golden Digger. We gonna throw it back to the Chili Bowl one time. Join us again here on Turn 3 Racing Network. From myself, David Worrell, and everybody else behind the scenes, thank you. Can't wait to see you again.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.